So, guess what? It's the fourth bed blog. I know. Crazy, isn't it? Only less than 2 weeks ago, I put up the first one. And already we're on number 4. Which, to put into context, means that there was a first one, a second one, and a third one, meaning a total of 4. The first bed blog was number 1, and the fourth one is number 4. And let me tell you, it's been one crazy journey since that first bed blog. There were times when I thought I wouldn't make it, but I did. Mainly because I made a second and then a third one. If it hadn't been for them, there wouldn't be this fourth one. There would only be the first one. So in many ways, this bed blog is a tribute to the second and third bed blogs. But more importantly, it's also a tribute to the first one. Because without that as a starting point, you wouldn't be watching this one, which is the fourth one. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, welcome to the fourth bed blog. So you've probably noticed something different about this one. And you'd be right, because it's a different bed to the usual one that's in the bed blogs. The one that you're looking at now is the bed of my childhood days. Which means that when I was a child, this is the bed that I slept in. And I can tell you, with no hint of nostalgia, that it's a good bed. As you can see, it's a double bed with the standard 4 pillows and duvet cover. To give a little bit of colour, this duvet cover hasn't been changed since my boyhood days. And that's a very personal thing for me, because it's a sort of tribute to the victims of the Lockerbie disaster, who, let's not forget, will never again change their bed sheets. My only hope is that perhaps this small act will convince the real perpetrators of that atrocity, namely the CIA, to come forward and confess their guilt, meaning that I can finally slip naked between sheets unencumbered by a lifetime's worth of hot dog brine. A lot of hot dog brine. I suppose as a bed I would give it 10 out of 27 stars. It's got a general level of comfort, although I tend to restrict my sleeping to the right side of the bed. Now, I don't want to make the blog too much about myself, but there is a reason for that. It's because the only time I slept on the left side, a mouse ran onto my pillow and kissed me on the nose. Now, I'm not saying the experience was unpleasant, but it isn't one that I would like to see repeated. particularly because after I rolled over in my sleep, I shattered said mouse's spine. Now, I know the sensible thing to have done would have been to have removed the paralysed rodent out of the bed. But I suppose I've kept it in the bed by way of a tribute of sorts to those victims of the Lockerbie disaster who themselves were left paralysed. I mean, God's sake, guys. You wouldn't throw a disabled man out of his bed. Unless you were being physically abusive towards him. So anyway, I feel that this has been quite a long bed blog, and maybe we've digressed a little bit into areas that aren't specifically related to beds. So I'm gonna bring it to a close. I'm gonna go and actually watch Celebrity Juice with Keith Lemon and get my fish fingers, but I'm gonna leave, but I'll leave you with a simple thought. Okay? When you get out of your own bed in the morning or at night, I don't know your sleeping patterns, think of something that we understand to be fact, then twist it, and try to persuade yourself to the opposite thought. For example, this is just off the top of my head, I haven't got this written down or anything. I don't rehearse this. This isn't the fifth take. For example, buttered toast. Right? Buttered toast. Toasted butter? Sometimes daft, sometimes good. Depends on your morning, really. And that's me. I'm done.